let's see here. Alright, hold on guys, I'm trying out this restream here to also stream on Twitch. Give me 1 second, I got a chat pop out. I don't know if that's actually working. I don't think it is. Can you guys see this? Alrighty, so it's connecting. Go ahead and let that connect. Let me head on over to here. Let's see. Okay, cool, it is live. Alright, sweet. So that's connecting. Go ahead and let that connect. Alright, give me 1 second here, I'm just setting up some stuff before we dive into this. Let's see. Alright, hold on, we're just waiting for oh, here, 1 sec. I gotta change some of the OBS settings on here. Twitch says I'm putting out too much. Let me change this to 6,000. Hit apply. Okay. Should be good. Let's see. Bitrate is too high. It's false. Okay. And let me see if I can get these chats working. Chat. One of two connected, two connecting. Damn it. Alright, so the chat between both platforms is sort of buggy. It's just like a black screen. It's kind of upsetting. I don't know why that is. Let me see here. Let me see if it works better if I download it. The Restream chat setup. Yeah, I'm going to install that. Alright, hopefully that works, otherwise I just wasted some time installing this. Alright, so in the last video we polished up some chat stuff, and in this video I'm going to do a couple things. One, I'm going to create a repo, a Git repo that may or may not be public for now. I think I'll make it public so you guys can all download the source code. And then I'm going to show you, I'm basically going to be using Git in Bitbucket. And then what I'm also going to do is we are going to actually create our player today. So we're going to instantiate our player on the server and client and sync up all that good stuff. And I'm also going to, I got a couple more polish items I'd like to do to our chat system. Alright, so 1 second here. Log in. Nope. Hey, how's it going, Augusto from Brazil? Awesome, man. Alright, so everyone has been telling me that I should be streaming to Twitch, but the reason why I don't stream to Twitch is because I can't save the videos instantly like I can on YouTube. So there's a service called Restream, which apparently allows me to do both. So let's go ahead. I want to see if, here we go. I want to see if I can get the chats from Twitch as well as YouTube into the same room. That's what I'm trying right now. So let's see. Alright, so I'm going to connect YouTube, and then I'm going to connect Twitch. Let's see. It's loading. Hey, from the Netherlands. Awesome, dude. Black Spoon. Dude, that's awesome, man. Netherlands, Brazil. Sweet. I'm going to get started here shortly. I'm just trying to sync up the chats here. So I don't have to keep the YouTube window open. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to connect for the YouTube. It's not letting me do it. Reconnect. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that, let's see, wait, permissions, message, and webviewer. Oh, here we go, okay. Allow. Hey, there we go, sweet, check it out. So now I have this little box, right? So when you guys talk, so this is the YouTube one. I should be able to get streaming, Twitch in here as well. So if I go ahead and authorize. Alright, sweet. Alright, so now on Twitch it should be streaming. Awesome. I'm going to minimize that. We'll keep this on my other monitor. We got 5 people watching at the moment. That's awesome. All from YouTube. Okay, so 1 second here. I just want to check this Twitch stream to see if it's online, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. Can you guys hear me okay?
Fitness that I'm always talking about, it is not a straightforward thing.
Alright, let's see here. Alright, cool. So it's all
fitness that I'm always talking about.
Sweet. Alright, awesome. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down Twitch and YouTube and go ahead and start doing this actual stream. Okay, all chats. Alright, good deal. Okay, so give me 1 second. We're going to head on over here. C# with Unity Live Programming number 21. Multiplayer Top-Down Adventure MMO Part 13. I'm just going to go ahead and clear out the description for now. Multi-streaming with, yeah, we fixed some bugs and add some polish. Continue to work on, okay, good deal. Alright, save that. We'll edit that again later. Alright, so one thing I want to do is I want to finish some polish on the chat system here, and then I'm going to set up a Git so that I can start doing some version control, because it's getting to a point where if I were to lose all of this, I would be super pissed, and that would be the end of the series. So I want to be able to version control this. Also, I kind of want to, you know, if you guys want to download this, check it out, then it's available to you. Alright, so let's go ahead and start our server here. I'm going to log in. Alright, so these are credentials from the forum. Go ahead and log in here. Alright, so as you can see here, my name is admin. It's spelled however it is on the forum. Alright, so that's what I wanted to fix right here. Right now, as you can see, my messages are a little soft compared to like where I can type like here. So I'm going to go ahead and change that a bit. Let's see. So inside the game here, let's go ahead and see what looks right. We have our message mask. Here's our messages. So let's go ahead and maybe make it could do bold, although I don't know if we should do bold. Maybe just normal. Can I change these fonts? I don't think Unity 5 comes with different fonts, do they? I may swap out these fonts at a later time. Another thing I want to do though is see. I honestly don't know what I want. Hold on. Let me see what a Unity one looks like. or not, I'm sorry, not a Unity one, but a RuneScape one. RuneScape chat message. Alright, so basically, okay, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to make it black like this, and then colon, and then the color of text is based on the chat world, or chat you're talking in. So if you're talking in the world chat in RuneScape, it's blue. If you're talking in a private chat, it's red. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and also set that up. So let's go ahead and do that. So here, so this should technically be, the admin part is going to be blue, and then the hey, I'm sorry, the admin part's going to be black like this, and then the hey will be blue. So let me see here. Admin hey. Yeah, okay, and I think I'm okay with that. Although everything else looks pretty good, so we'll go ahead and do that. So this black needs to be just 255 on the alpha and 0 for everything. So we're going to try that. Alright, so let's head on over to our game here. Alright, and let's see. Let's go to our message prefab. We'll change this guy from 50 to 0. Alright, so now it comes out pitch black. Now, this, however, needs to change. We need to format this to kind of use some color coding, right? Based on the type of channel you're in. So the way that happens is through the chat controller. Let's see here. We create a new message. We set the text. We give it the player's name, new message. Okay. Now the player's name needs to stay black as normal. However, this guy needs to get an HTML style. So we want this to be based on whatever your world is, right? So create new message. We'll have player name, string new message, and then here we're gonna have target channel, right? So we'll have we will have a string channel. Alright, and we're gonna have to switch through the channel options, and we'll change the color of the text based on which channel you're in. Alright, so we have our channel here. Let me see, chat message, right, string target. So who to send the message to. This is our channel. Maybe I should call this target channel. I'm gonna leave it as target for now though. Let me see. So switch target, we have case world chat, controller instance, and then we create a new message. And so here we go. So here we're in the world chat, and we're gonna go ahead and say string channel, and we can go ahead and just put in target right here, because target has, if we made it to this case, then target would equal world chat. All right, and we'll switch through target again on the other side. All right, so we're passing in the player's name, their message, and the target. And what we'll do with the chat controller here is we create that message, and before we actually do any of this, let's go ahead and figure out who we are first. And actually, really the only important thing is this part, right? So for now, yeah, we'll go ahead and switch through it. So let's go ahead and switch through. Let's pick a channel. Alright, so here we'll have case world chat. It's a good way to use generic principles to make the character creation system, generic classes, methods. Yeah, it is. When we get into our class system and skills and all that, yeah, I'm going to use a generics method. We'll have a base skill class, we'll have a base quest class, and we'll build it from there. Yeah, we're gonna try and make this as modular as we can. All right, so let's see here. So we got our switch channel. We have our case world chat. All right. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and create our. Want to create our message. Okay, we'll assign our text, and we'll set the parent. All right. So now this is still going to work fine. And now what I need to do though is change the new message part. Okay, that new message part needs to be stylized. So I know Unity can actually interpret color tags through code. So what I want to do is see how. Unity HTML color tags. Okay, yeah, so look, this type of thing here. You can do color and then green, right? And then that. So here, so we're going to do exactly this. And then we'll figure out our color coding from there once we have it. And I might just be able to specify blue. So here, we're going to go ahead and say color equals that. All right, color. I don't know what this code is. Let me see. Let's find out. 0000FF. All right, good deal. So 0000FF is blue. All right, and I'm just going to go over here now, and I'm going to say /color. So if you're familiar with HTML, this is pretty much an inline style tag. All right, we'll go ahead and save this. Let's see how it looks. Okay, server's running. Go ahead and go back to our main menu here. Let's log in, connect. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and do a username would be. Let's do our Pied Piper one. Alright, let's test this out. Hey, and check it out. That looks really good. We have our Pied Piper, and our text is blue. All right, pretty cool, pretty easy. Now everyone knows we're in World Chat. All right, good deal. Let's go ahead and we're gonna fire up a test client as well, make sure it works over the network. So we'll Control B, let's override our existing client. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a repository and get Git working. Let this load. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and log in here. Let's log in with admin. And eventually too, what I'd like to do is we're going to create like admin and mod panels, which would allow me to see a player's inventory. So like if I think a player is duping or scamming or anything like that, or is reported, I can actually view the player's inventory, and I'm also going to make it so I can view their bank account. Alright, so we'll do a lot of cool stuff eventually when we get into like tools for admins and mods. Alright, password. Alright, so admin's in. And let's go ahead and log in here with Pied Piper. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and say hey. Alright, as you can see there, Pied Piper, you can see it there, and if I go over to here, hey Pied, and we come back to our client, and there we go. Alright, everything looks pretty good. Now, you'll notice there is quite a bit of spacing. I'm actually don't hate that much spacing, but I think I should probably tidy it up a bit. If you look at like RuneScapes, for instance, it's pretty close. Right? Yeah, like look at that. It's kind of on top of each other. So I do want to do that. It will allow for more room. The question is what's causing that spacing? And I believe it's this message mask here. Message display. Yeah, something in here is telling it like to be 30 away. I'm assuming it might be this height. If I change this method height to like say 15 and then start spawning it, let's see what happens. Alright, it does not like that. So let me set that back to 30. Alright, so what the hell is causing the height of those? Let's take a look. Alright, it is this message clone, and it's it is this height. So how can I get these closer? Yeah, you see that? That's more so what I want right here. And oh, you know what? I might have a size fitter on here, and I do. Check this out. Child control size, child force expand. Okay, so here, let me try something. Let me try setting it to 15 at the start. Let's see what happens. So admin, test. Alright, I don't know why that message disappears. It's super annoying. Let me see if I can see it in the scene view. Hey, how's it going, Kaghan? Alright, so we look at our message here. So our message is there. It just doesn't want to actually appear for some reason, but they are there. And actually, if you look, the scaling is right. So that's pretty annoying. How can I get this message display to work properly? And so we have a vertical layout group which stacks them, right? Let's see, child force expand or height. What happens if I don't do that? Why does it like disappear? I don't know why it disappears. Any of these have to do with that? Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to turn that off. Alrighty, let's see. Let's log back in. We have our Alright, well, I cannot stress how actually annoying that is. That changing this height is like really affecting this thing. It makes no sense. I just wanted to be closer, man. Let's see, horizontal overflow, vertical overflow. Let's do 15. Chow. Alright, it didn't hide that time, which is good. Ah, fixed it. Okay, it was that overflow thing. Alright, good deal. Alright, so there is one other issue here, I see. Try changing the vertical flow to overflow instead of... Yeah, thank you, Jordash. Awesome. Alright, so that was it. So there is one thing I want to change here. I am going to set the height to... I don't know if I even have to change that. I think that could still be 30 maybe. But keeping those overflow. Let's try that. Alright, so we'll go ahead and log in here. Let's see. Alright, so it was that, so we do need to change those and keep it at overflow. But you'll notice that now it's like kissing the bottom here. And I definitely want to change that, because look at this, if it's 15, now that's like, it's like I got rid of the padding. So I need to figure out how do I give it a little bit of padding. I imagine I can do that by probably lifting it up a bit. Let me see. In panel, canvas, game chat panel, the message mask. I think it's the mask. Is it like hiding it, basically shaving it off? Alright, that was not the right answer. Put that back. Let's go in here. Message display panel. I think it's maybe this. Although I feel like that should be bigger. This, okay, yeah, right. This has a vertical layout group that gets bigger. So here, so from the bottom, there we go. Check that padding out. Let's do like 2 pixels, 3. Alright, I think 5 pixels is pretty good. Alright, good deal. So we'll go ahead and do that. Change that to bottom. Go into the game here. Go into canvas, message mask, scroll bar. And we'll give it a bottom padding of 5 pixels. Alright, save this. Head back to our main menu. Let's get a new build going. Delete that. Build. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Alright, so we'll go ahead and connect here. And we'll play here. Okay, and we'll log in here, Pied Piper. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test this out. So here's admin, a Pied Piper. Alrighty, so I think that looks pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. Alright, so there we go. So we have our colons there, we have our hey dude, hey Pied Piper. Alright, one thing, let me just take a look at those real quickly. Keep destroying that. Oops, Pied Piper. Okay, yeah, okay, so here, so check this out. You see how like mine is this chat box, and then they definitely have like some image border. I definitely want to add something like that, but I'm not too concerned right now. At a later time when I get into graphics and stuff like that, we're going to add some borders to make this look really sharp and nice, but for now I think we have the perfect setup, and I think it looks really nice. So I also want to, looking at this, the size of those, right? Is if I were to line it up here, you can see it actually doesn't go down that high. So I'm gonna shrink ours just a bit here. Let's go ahead, let's hop into our game view here. Turn this guy off. Go to the canvas. Our game chat panel. And it's as easy as that. Sweet. Alrighty. Alright, I think that is pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and save this. Test it out one more time, make sure that just scaling like that does work okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a repo for this now. Admin. Alright, let me just fill it up so we can get like a scroll bar. Alright, and it looks pretty damn good. Sweet. Alright, good deal. So I'm happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and stop playing. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to go into my Visual Studios here. I'm going to hit Control Shift F, or I'm sorry, S. I'm going to save everything. I'm going to close it all down because I'm going to start getting into some Git repositories and all that good stuff. For work, I use something called SVN Tortoise, or Tortoise SVN, which is a very enterprise level type of version control. And I don't believe it's free, but on my free time I like to use Git, and I use the command line for it, and it's a lot of, so it's fun, it's enjoyable, and it's a really fast and clean repository. Alright, so let's go ahead and, that was what I gotta do. Let me shut these down. I'm not gonna need this. I will need to pull a git ignore file because I don't remember what's included in that. So give me 1 second here. Let me set that up properly. Yeah, I think I want this. Let me see. Yeah, so like there are certain files in Unity, right, that you don't want to commit just because they're useless files only used by the editor. And that's these guys. Like for instance, the library, the builds, the temp folder, and all that good stuff. That stuff gets created every time you open Unity, so there's no point in me versioning this info. It just causes problems down the road. And then I also have in here some Mac OS X specific stuff, like DS file. Alright, and then these are auto-generated by Visual Studios and developed solution project files. I also don't want to include those. So I'm going to take this git ignore file, and we're going to be using that in a minute. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put that over here on the desktop. Okay. Next thing is I need to go to Bitbucket. Alrighty. For the code that drives us. I'm going to log in here for a minute. Alright, let's see. Projects. Alrighty, so I'm logged into Bitbucket here. These are all my projects. I have my repositories, and as you can see, I've done a bunch of cool stuff here. This is Cody's lab. That was a total fail, unfortunately. Let me see here. This is a World of Warcraft tool I created to parse the auction house with a buddy of mine. This is an old MMO project and a bunch of old other stuff. Alright, so what I want to do here is I want to basically create a new repository, a new project. So we're going to hit plus, and I am going to create a repository. So I'm going to call this, repository name. For now, we're going to call this Unity 5 MMO. Eventually I will change this. This is going to be a Git repository. The access level is, for now, I'm going to make it private until I can finish setting up everything I want to do, and then I'll figure out how I want people to be able to access this and just have access to it. Alright, so description. Unity 5 client server. Unity 5 client server. Networking MMO. Alright, forking. We're going to allow private forks. Project management. We do want issue tracking. Alright, so we'll learn how to do some Scrum stuff later down the road. Do we want a wiki? Yeah, we might have a wiki, sure. Because when we get into features, if we want to define things and all that good stuff, we can do that too. So language, I think it has Unity. It does not, so I'm going to go ahead and do C#. Thought it automatically did C# Unity. Integrations. I'm not going to do enable HipChat notifications. HipChat is like their version of Skype. Alright, so create repository. Alright, get started the easy way. Create a readme or a .gitignore is a quick and easy way to get something in your repository. We're going to go ahead and create a .gitignore. And here, I'm going to just copy in our .gitignore file. So I'm going to copy that. Whoops. Open this up. Oh my gosh. Come on. Shoot. Hold on. I just made the text editor my default thing. I do not want that. Sec. Always use this app. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take this, guys, and I'm going to come over here. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to do this. This here is going to mimic a check-in. I don't want to do it here. I'm actually going to do it. I'm actually going to do it from the command line. I'm actually going to check out this project and commit. So here inside my source control here, I can actually check out the overview of my project. So if I had a README file that describes it, all that good stuff. I can view the source file. I can view commits. So every time I check something in, it gets versioned, and I can change or I can view what was changed and what I've done. And then here I can create branches. So I can create like a release branch and a development branch. So I'm going to be creating a bunch of development branches. And then here we have pull requests and all that fun stuff. Alright, so one thing I need to do here is there's a cheat sheet for getting Git started, because I don't quite remember all of it. At work I work in Linux, so I'm a little slow on PC. However, I do know it uses the command line. Let's see here. Let's go to our Unity projects folder. So we need to go to cd Unity projects. Shoot, is there no tab completion? What is that called? We are going to go to, alright, right now I'm in CodeGay. 1 second. I need to get to desktop, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Alright, we're on the desktop. Let's go to CD, we'll go to the Unity directory or Unity projects. Alright, so here's all my Unity projects. I need to go into the 2D MMO client and 2D MMO server. Alright, now before I can do anything with this, I want to keep these things together. So what I need to do here, I'm going to delete this working copy because I'm no longer doing anything with this. I don't plan on ever touching this again. Alright, so recycle that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come on over here and we are going to create a new folder. Alright, we're going to call this Unity 5 Networking. I'm also on Unity 2017.1 right now, I believe. Alright, so Unity 5 Networking, MMO. And I'm going to take both of these guys, I'm going to throw them in here. Okay. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add my .gitignore file in here. Because anytime I make a change or a commit, I'm going to do so from this high level folder. I want to make sure that my server and client projects are always together and that everything is getting commit to one folder location to where I can view everything. Okay. Now what I need to do here before I actually do anything, before I do this .git here, is I need to create an instance of Git. So I believe it's Git init, and I don't want to do it here. I want to do it inside the directory. So I need to go into cd Unity 5 networking MMO. I'm here. I'm going to go and say Git init, and now it says initialized an empty Git repository in Unity 5 networking MMO.git. All right, good deal. So here's the .git thing, as you can see. Now check this out. I'm going to add this .gitignore, and I believe the command is, damn, how do I check for changes? Git, is it git update? Git status, I think. Okay, there we go. So here we go. So as we can see, I type git status on branch master, and it shows me my initial commit, untracked files. So I have three things to commit. I have my .gitignore, I have my client and server folders. Nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. Use git add to track. Now before I do that, I don't want to add git status on branch master. I need to look at a cheat sheet real quickly. Let's see. Git branch change. Alright, so I can check out Git. I can switch to a new branch. This is a shorthand for yada yada. Let's see, you work on your website and do some commits, yada yada yada. Well, I'm looking for a better cheat sheet. Not what I want. Let me see, I'm looking for some, there used to be like this really easy to follow git commands thing. Clone a repository, check out a branch into a local repository. Alright, let's see, aspect of free to check out command, yeah, I want to do it from git. Okay, so here we go. We have using git to check out a branch on the command line. So git branch, list all your branches. You should see something similar to the following. Alright, so right here, check this out. So if I were to actually type git branch and then all, which is that -a, there's nothing here because I haven't actually synced with this server yet. So I actually need to do that. And to do this, I need to do git clone and then the address. So here, I want to go to Unity 5 MMO. I want to do branches. No, get started, create a readme. I have an existing project. Alright, here we go. Get started with command line. I'm starting from scratch. Here we go. I need to do this. And then echo readme, yada yada. Git commit -m, initial commit, git push to origin master. Okay, good deal. Alright, so check this out. So I'm actually going to do this in steps because I sort of messed it up already. I am going to take this Unity 5 networking and these guys. I'm going to actually move them to here. I'm going to delete this folder because it's going to get checked out through this. So I'm going to type git clone in this guy. All right, so we'll go ahead here, we'll type git. All right, we're gonna say git clone and then the repo directory. And holy shit, I did not think where I did that, did I? You appear to have cloned an empty repository. All right, hold on, Unity 5 networking MMO. 1 second. I don't want to do that here. Well, I'm going to exit out of the command prompt for a second. I want to delete this. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's go back into the commands. If I just type cmd right here, it would take me to this directory. So here, inside my Unity projects, I want to paste this, git clone Sub-Zero Gamer Unity 5 MMO, and it should do it right here, I'm hoping. It should create a folder called Unity 5 MMO, which it did. Sweet. And I can go over to here, I can rename this to whatever I want. So I like to just do caps Unity 5, keep it like that. Unity 5 MMO. Alright, and I can go inside here now. And what I can do is I'm going to drop these 3 guys into here. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and do a directory. I'm in Unity projects. I'm going to hop into that. So I'm going to change directory to Unity 5 MMO. And now we're here. You can see those files, and I'm going to do git init. It says reinitialize existing Git repository in this area. I'm going to go ahead and say git status. I have 3 red files. They're red because they're not added to, they're just modified. Red means modified. So what I need to do is I need to add them. So I'm going to say git add. Nothing specified, nothing added. Maybe you want to say git add all. Okay, so I think I say git add here. So I can say git add period, which is here. The file will have its original yada yada yada. And right now what it's doing is it's adding every file to the commit, I believe. Alright, so let's go and do git status. The file will have its original line endings and you're working OF will be replaced by CF2D MMO, yada yada yada. Yeah, I think it's still going. It is. Okay. So right now it's basically just going in it's adding these all the files and all that good stuff so I can actually create an initial check-in with all these things so that they're finally version control. Wow, 10K subscriber already. Took like 4 years to get that number. Not very impressed. But thank you. Let's see here. So the file will have its original line endings. Yada. Okay, good deal. So now if I do git status, you'll see here that we have added, did you mean this, init. Git is not a git command. See git help. What did I do? Git init, git status. Okay, there we go. Alright, so as you can see here, okay, 1 sec. Okay, yeah. So everything got added here, as you can see. Everything. Just both those folders and our git ignore, I believe, is what should have been added. Oh, you know what? And added all that project metadata stuff too. I don't know if I actually want that. Let me make sure I add the add.git ignore. So git status. Okay. So a lot of this stuff I don't want it to be checked in. So I'm hoping it doesn't get checked in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a git commit here. Alright, so I'm going to say git commit. Yeah, commit -m for message. And I'm going to go ahead and say initial commit. We're going to say working client server with chat system. Alright, and I'm going to go and just go ahead and hit enter there. And basically what it's saying here is master initial commit working client server with chat, yada yada, it's getting it all ready. And before it actually is on the website, like if I check git Bitbucket right now, right, it's not actually going to be there. Because I never pushed it. So what I need to do is I need to push it, and I need to push it to where it needs to go. Alright, so we go ahead and here, we're going to go ahead and say git push And we're going to say origin master. Alright, and here you go. It is now sending all the way to bitbucket.org this entire folder. So now we're versioned. Alright, and you'll see here it's almost at 70% done. Almost done. And let me see here. I want to make sure this all worked out properly. Alright, so basically, and you can see here a new branch was created, a master branch. So branch master set up to track remote branch master from origin, which is great. That master branch is basically just our initial commit. That master branch is really like the head front. So I'm going to go ahead and create a development branch away from that master branch, because the master branch is always going to be kind of like the release branch. Alright, so it's done, and you'll see here if I go to the overview, alright, we have commits. We have one commit, initial commit, working client server with chat system. If we go to the source, check it out. All the code and all the assets and everything like that, it's all versioned on the cloud now. So I can now keep track of development, and if I screw up something so bad and I need to revert, I can easily just download this commit and I'll be back to where I started in a clean working environment. So Git is pretty damn awesome. We're going to be working with Git throughout this, and I'll show you guys some cool stuff along the way. But now that we're versioned, we're pretty good. I do need to create a new branch though for a development branch. So here you'll see we have branches. Alright, so this is our master main branch. I want to go ahead and create a new branch. So we need to look at creating a new branch in Git. Man, I wish I still had... Oh, I think this is it. Okay, yeah. This document right here is like one of the most easy to follow things. It's amazing. So basically, to create a Git branch, I do Git branch, and then to list all the branches, right, I can do Git branch. It looks like, I think this is the project name or something. Create a new branch called... Oh, no, okay. This will actually create a branch called branch. This does not check out the new branch. Delete the specified branch. Alright, so here we go. So list all branches in your repository. So let's do that. So git branch. Okay. So here you can see in green, it's master. And the reason why it's green is because it's the actual Git repository we're on. It's the branch we're on. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to create a new branch. So I'm going to go ahead and say git branch, and we're going to call this, let's call this development. Syntax of the command is incorrect. Why? Oh, right, no brackets. So git branch develop. Ah, dang it. I didn't want to spell it like that. Now if I type git branch, you'll see here we have a master and develop branch. I'm going to delete the develop branch. So git branch dash delete develop. Right, we do git branch. We have master again. We're going to do git branch development. And if I do git branch, alright, now we're on master and development. What I need to do now is I need to switch to the development branch. So how do we switch? Let's see. Git branch crazy experience. Then you create a branch using the following command that creates it, yada yada. Deleting branches. How do I do an actual... I don't want to check out. Where is... How do I switch to that branch? Oh, okay. Do I need to check out? It looks like the following example demonstrates the basic Git branching process. When you want to start working on a new feature, you create a dedicated branch and switch to it. Switch into it. Okay, so yeah, so you check out that branch basically. So git check out that branch. All right, so here we'll have git. And as you can see here, this is actually a proper way to do it. When you want to start working on a new feature, right, in quotes feature, you should create a new branch. The reason why you would do that is so that you have a dedicated workspace to this feature, and if you screw anything up, you can always fall back on your development branch. So our development branch is basically going to be our... okay, yeah, thank you, Gregory. So basically our development branch is going to be like our development profile. Our master branch is going to be what I would publish actually to like the world, right? So I am going to create another one. I am going to switch to it first. I'm going to do git checkout development. And you can see here if I do git branch, now we're on development, right? So what are we working on next? We're going to work on, and actually, you know, I think I did git status. Okay, nothing to commit, working tree clean. All right, good deal. Let me see here. And I want to check if that instantly follows here. Okay, it does not. So the branches wouldn't get created up here unless I actually commit something, I believe. Is that right? That is right. Check out master. Let me see here. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So when we actually create something, we do that. One thing I do want to do, though, is I would like to clone our master one and check that in. So 1 second here. Let's do a git merge, not a merge. Merge the specified branch into the current branch. Git will determine the merge algorithm automatically. Yeah, so merging is also really cool. So like say I develop a feature, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to merge that feature into the development branch. All right, but right now I need the master branch and the development branch to be the same. So let's see here. On branch master, unmerged path, yada yada yada. Fast forward merge. New feature master. This is a common workflow for short-lived topic branches. Yeah, three-way merge. Not interested in that. Let's see, clone a branch and git. Alright, clone only the history, now depth. Create a shallow clone with a history. Truncate to specify number of commits. Git clone. You will clone the repo from a certain point in time and only for the given branch. So I might just be able to do that. Let me see here. Git clone master. And then development. Repository master does not exist. Wrong. Let's say on branch development, nothing to commit, working tree clean. Let's see. Alright, git clone, yada yada. Clones a repository into a newly created directory. Creates remote tracking branches for each branch in the clone repository. Visible git branch R. After the clone, a plain git fetch. And creates and checks out an initial branch that is forked from the clone repository. Huh. Maybe I can do that. Creates remote tracking branches for each branch in the cloned repository. Git branch -R. Right? When the repository of the clone on the local machine, instead of using hard links, automatically set up to share objects, references, verbose, progress, bake. Okay, hold on. Get origin, let's see. Let me get status. Let's see, get init. I don't think clone is what you want. Clone will create an entirely separate, right? I don't think we want to clone it either. Shoot, I do not remember what it is I need to do. You just want a separate branch that's a backup, right? Exactly, Greg. Just a backup here. Let's see. Unify, git status. Nothing to commit, working tree clean. Trying to think. Hold on. How do we clone a branch? How to clone a specific git branch? Git checkout -b new branch name. What does the -b do? Does that we'll create the branch? Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay, we'll create the branch and switch to it. Oh, okay. Well, that. Well, right. So that will allow, that will switch to it. I don't think that will actually bring those files. Oh, you know what? Okay, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I believe development technically is already the working thing. Like if I were to make a change here and here, we can actually verify this. If I were to add a new text file, we actually might be okay here. If I add this, right, and I do a git status, So we are in the development branch and everything's already being tracked. If I were to actually commit this right now, it would commit, I believe, I want to say everything with this newly added text document, right? Nothing added to commit but untracked files present. Use git add. Let's see here. Git status. And we'll do a git commit. We're just going to call this test. We're going to delete this on the server. Git commit, call it test, and git push. Git push set upstream origin development. There we go. Alright, so we're going to say git push. We're going to set upstream. And we are going to do development. No? Does it need to be origin development? Oh, there we go. Alright, let's go and take a look at that. How does that look? So if we go to branches, we have a development branch. Alright, let's see. Don't disappoint me. Let's see. Okay, and it's just a new text document. I don't know if this is actually what I want. I honestly can't remember how I handled this last time. It might actually be okay to do it this way. Here, hold on. I do want to development run pipeline. Let me see here. View source. Oh, okay, no. Alright, that did work. Alright, so we are in the development branch, and we do have now the 2D MMO and 2D MMO stuff. Alright, so we are good here. Alright, so I can switch to master and development. We're in development. I see all this good stuff. And we have this initial commit working client server. Alright, good deal. Alright, I'm happy there. So let's go ahead. I want to delete this commit from the server if I can. I don't think I can, which is really annoying. Ah, dang it. Alright, well, that was annoying. So what I'm going to do now, though, is just undo that. So if I go into my command line here, where is that folder or that file I added? I'm just going to delete it. Alright, we're going to do git status. And we're going to do that. We're just going to say git add here, git status, alright, and we're going to do another git commit. Alright, removing test. I should have tested it with a readme file. And we do a git push. Alrighty, and we should be good now. So if we look over here, that's removed. We go to our branches, development branch, and we have 2 commits, reviewing test. Alright, sweet. So we are set. And then eventually what we'll do is when we create a new public release, we'll merge development into master when we're ready. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're probably going to create a new branch just for working on the spawning of the player, because I think we're going to break a lot of stuff here, just because this is going to be an entirely new concept. So I want to make sure that we are safe from our development branch. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and use Gregory's suggestion here where we create a branch and switch to it. So we'll do git checkout - branch and then the new branch name. So we're going to call this, and then at the end we're going to merge it into our development branch. So let's see here. We're going to do get checkout. We'll call this spawning player. Alright, spawning player. Switch to a new branch, spawning player. So if I do git branch, you'll see here we have 3 branches. We're in spawning player, which is good. And now, let me just go ahead and minimize this. Let's go and open up Unity and let's figure out what it is we exactly want to do. Alright, so let's open up our server. Oh, whoops. Let's go ahead and open up the server. And we'll also open up our client. let's open up our client. Alrighty, and we'll go ahead and run this, make sure everything still works. I did notice I upgraded to 2017.1 on the server just now. I don't think that will break anything, but we'll see. What could go wrong gaming? Jonathan, I need help. I couldn't find the answer anywhere. Go ahead, you can ask your question. Alright, so let's go ahead and log in here. Server's on. Log in with admin. Alright, so as you can see, everything looks good, everything is working, sweet. Alright, when I tried to add a JSON script, only C# appears in the dropdown. A JS script, a JavaScript, okay. All I'm gonna say is don't use Unity's JavaScript. It's not a real programming language. Whatever it is, that script is converted to C#. I don't work with Unity script, and I don't recommend anyone else work with it either. Also, holy shit, my client just crashed, and I don't know why. Well, let's figure that one out. Why did my client crash? So I'm gonna go to shoot. All right, I think I need to go to Program Files. I need to go to Unity, Editor. Let's see here. Not editor. Shoot, I'm looking for like roaming data or something like that. Program data. See here. Here we go. Users, app data is where it is, right? So I need to go to app data. Why can't I see app data? There we go. Local, right? Unity, editor, and here we go. Alright, so editor previous, I believe, is going to have the one that crashed. I have two versions of Unity open. Why would you have both C# and JS? Exactly, right. C# for life. There you go. Alright, so check this out. Here's the log for this. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Always use Notepad++. Alright, so looking in this log file, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I just want to see where it crashed. It should say something like crash or anything like that. Nope. Everything looks fine here. It looks like it loaded just fine. Connection has been disconnected by time. Oh no, here, hold on. Opening scene, main menu. Detecting if any assets need to be imported or removed. Refresh, offices, cleanup, mono. Client drop connection, on disconnected. Okay, so there's no information on why Unity crashed. Wonderful. Alright, so one thing I want to do is I want to turn this into a quick access. It's always nice when the editor crashes, you can get logs quickly. Let's go ahead and run that again. Here's the server. I'm going to open Unity. Alrighty, let's see. Alrighty, so that's coming. Alright, so, and one thing I'm going to do is I want to, we're going to basically start spawning objects. So the concept of a client-server architecture, right, like if you're playing World of Warcraft or RuneScape or any MMO like that, is the client is basically always, the responsibilities between the client and the server are really simple. the client is requesting permission for everything, and the server is just verifying everything, and it sends back a response saying, yeah, that's okay, you can do this. The only thing I don't want to restrict the player of is movement. I want movement to be completely free to do for you so that there's no lag delay, there's no timestamp delay, and then on the server, using the network transform, it will automatically sync up perfectly, and I don't have to deal with that. On the other hand, though, what I am going to do is anytime someone gets connected or anything like that, something's created on the server or any action, any interactable, all of that has to be verified on the server. So when a player logs in, not only will you be instantiated on the client, but it will be instantiated on the server as well. And the server is going to keep track of everything that's instantiated. So if I want to kick a player, if I kick him off the server, then he gets kicked off his client. All right, so that's how that's going to work. So the client's he just sends requests, the server reads those requests and returns information about what to do with that request. All right, now, and another way to think of it too is basically the client is the full-fledged game, the server is the exact same thing minus all the graphics. All right, that's how you can really think of it. And you can kind of see that's kind of what we did with our network, our chat system, right? If you look at the chat system, it's all visual and working beautifully over here because we have these chat controllers and model and view. However, the reason why it actually works though is if you look at these message handlers, these are all replicated exactly like to the T almost on the server. So this is all the code minus the visuals. It gets visual, all the graphics come from this guy. So basically, essentially, the client is just our graphical layer, right? So let's go ahead and I did want to test this out real quickly on disconnected from server. So it looks like it recovered or something. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay, let's go ahead and log in with admin. Alright, login successful. Say hello. Alright, 1 second. One thing's super annoying me right now. Why is that text so shallow? You see that? It says admin and your text here is really shallow. Well, I just want to fix that. Go in here, canvas, go to the message, input, the text. Why is that so shallow? Alright. Maybe not. You know what? I don't really care right now. We're going to keep it as is. Okay, it looks fine. Alright, so everything's working fine. There's no crashing, which is great. We have these little errors from the beginning, which are fine. Create new message. Okay, good deal. So let's go ahead and alright, let's go ahead and actually create our player now. So in order to do this, we need to look at spawning on the client and server. Now, I was reading up on Unity's networking system, and I don't know if the high-level API applies to us anymore. So they request you do network spawn, Unity 5. Let's take a look at it. So like you're supposed to like register, right? So like on our server, I have this network manager, which I created, and I'm inheriting, I believe, the network manager that Unity provides. So let's take a look at that. I may just have to register the prefabs on the client, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. I imagine I'd have to register them with the server as well, though. Okay, no, this is just a mono behavior, but I just did everything from scratch. Right, I'm using the using engine.networking. Okay, so let me see here. Networking.networkserver.spawn. So spawns the given game object on all clients which are ready. This will cause a new object to be instantiated from the registered prefab or from a custom spawn function. Okay, so here we go. So how to register prefabs. Let's take a look. I'm trying to add in Network Manager, a prefab in the let's see here, a prefab in the registered spawnable prefabs list, but when I add the prefab, this appears like clone, and in client side, the prefab isn't spawn and errors. Here's my code, yada yada. Registered spawnable prefabs. Okay, hold on. So he's inheriting from network behavior here. This is his enemy player. Player game object. On start local player. Update, whoops. Alright, so if it's the server, yada yada, what's that? Okay, hold on. To spawn a prefab on the client, it must be registered so that the client knows which prefab to spawn. The registered spawnable prefab list allows you to set from the editor what prefabs the clients will be able to spawn. When the client joins a server, it registers all of the prefabs in its list, so changing it on the server won't affect the clients. And clients changing it after they join the server won't affect it either. Alright, so here we go. So you need to use client scene.register prefab to add extra spawnable prefabs after you've joined a server. In your case, you need to either make cube a proper prefab and add to the spawnable list in the editor, or use a spawn handler to manually load it. Since spawning it may not work even if you register it due to it being loaded as with resource. Alright, so let's look into this guy. So client scene.register prefab. Let's take a look. Alright, so hold on. So a client manager which contains static client information and functions. So let me look at our client real quick. How was our network client created? We have our mono singleton, chat message, login request message type. I just realized in the last video I think I created the mono singleton, but I never used it. Is that right? I thought I turned one of these guys into that. Maybe not. Oh, player info, right, okay. I did. So here we have player info, and that gets the player name. Yeah, okay, I did use the mono singleton. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Let's look at this guy. So I may need to register these prefabs manually. That kind of sucks. This adds a player game object for this client. This causes an add player message to be sent to the server, and network manager dot on server add player is called. If an extra message was passed to add player, then on server add player will be called with a network reader that contains the contents of the message. Destroy all client objects. Register a prefab. Register a prefab with the UNet spawning system. Removes the specified player ID from the game. Let me look at these for a second. Alright, so this is the player controller ID, the local player controller ID number to be removed. Returns true if the player was successfully destroyed and removed. Removes specified player ID from the game. Both the client and the server destroy the player game object and remove it from the player list. The player controller ID is scoped to this client, not globally to all players or clients. As separate game objects. Treats players and clients as separate game objects. In most cases, there is a single player for each client, but in some situations, for example, when there are multiple controllers connected to a console system, player game first interaction when there are multiple players, yada yada. Alright, let me look at this. Add player. How does this work? True if player was added. Alright, this adds a player game object for this client. This causes an add player message to be sent over the server, and network manager dot on server add player is called. Okay, so that's really helpful right there. If an extra message was passed to add player, then on server add player will be called with a network reader that contains the contents of the message. Alright, let's try this and let's try and intercept it. So I want to use this for sure. Now, I don't know how it actually spawns it though. Like, how the hell does that work? Object spawning. Okay, here's how we can do this. Registration of spawn prefabs is most completely done by the network manager and the editor. The spawn info section of the network manager allows you to register prefabs without writing any code. Alright, so because we're not using the high-level API network manager, we have to do it this way. The spawn info section of the network manager allows you to register prefabs without writing any code. This can also be done through code when a network client is created. To do it in code, so here we have our game object, alien prefab, which would be our player. Then we have our client, and then here we say client scene.register the prefab. So how do I register it on the server though? And then how do we actually spawn it? In this example, the user would drag a prefab to the script so that when an alien object is spawned on the server, the same kind of object will be created on the client. This registration of assets ensures that the asset is loaded with the scene so that there is no stall to load the asset when it is created. For more advanced use cases such as object pools or dynamically created assets, there is client scene.register spawn handler, which allows callback functions to be registered for client-side spawning. Alright, I'm not interested in client-side stuff like that. Below is a simple example of a spawner that creates a tree with a random number of leaves. Okay, so we call spawn here, and then it calls network server.spawn, and it's going to spawn this tree. To complete this example, the project would have a prefab asset for the tree and a network identity component. Then on the mySpawner instance in the scene, the tree prefab slot would be populated by the tree prefab asset. The tree prefab must be registered as a spawnable object, either using the network manager or using client scene.register prefab. A network identity must be the root. Network behavior script must be on the same game object as the network identity, and prefabs can't be registered with the network manager unless they have a network identity. Alright, so let's start there. So here we go. So inside this client, right? Inside the client, let's go ahead and start making this example work, right? So inside the client here, I want to add, I guess, our player prefab, essentially, right? How badly do I want to shove it in here though? Alright, I guess this is okay. Let me see here. Network underscore client. Let's see, network client instance.player. Alright, we're going to add a variable here. It's going to be public game object. We'll call this player prefab. Alright, so public game object, player prefab. Let's go ahead and get into our game folders here. We'll have a prefabs folder in here. And what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and create, inside the game view real quickly, I want to create a player. Just like a cube for now, right? Just so we have something to actually see. Alright, so there's our player. And we're going to go ahead and call him player. Okay, so we got our player prefab here. We can go ahead and delete it from the scene here. Save the scene, head back to the main menu. We'll stop into our network client and then player prefab. So here, it's at our prefab. Alright, now we need to register that prefab. And before we can even do that, I believe it needs a network ID component. Is that right? A network identity must be on the root game object of a spawnable prefab. So network identity must be there. So let's add that. Network identity. Okay, check this out. Local player authority. Server only cannot be set for local player authority objects. I believe this is local player authority. Is that right? Let's see. Local player authority, Unity 5. Local player authority, let's explain. Okay, let's explain how I can use local player authority on a player object because I do not use network transfer. For example, I have if has authority. Oh, okay, okay. Basically, that means do you have authority over your own actions, or do you have to request permission from the server? That is a big no. The player has zero authority, okay? So, no authority. All right, so let's go ahead and check our constraints. Network behavior scripts must be on the same game object as the network identity, not on child game objects. All right. Prefabs can't be registered with the network manager unless they have a network identity. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and register this now. So to register it, right, it looks like they do client scene.register prefab. Easy enough. And it looks like they do that before they actually connect. Is that right? Yeah, before they connect. Okay, cool. So I guess we will do that as well. On start, right? Before we actually connect. I guess we can do it right here, I guess. Let's register our prefab. So we'll say client scene dot register prefab. And what is the spawn handler again? This is an advanced spawning function that registers a custom asset ID with the unit spawning system. I feel like we may get involved with that. Registers a prefab with the unit spawning system. Oh, wait a minute. Register spawn handler. It takes in an asset ID, a spawn handler, which is a delegate, and an unspawn handler delegate. Okay, that is way complicated. So I don't know what this would even be used for, honestly. This must be for like doing dynamic loading, like maybe an asset bundle type deal. Let's go ahead and register this. So here we have a game object prefab and a new asset ID. Oh, and I can also do the other one. So cool. All right, so the prefab is going to be our player prefab. All right, let's save that. And this thing says it's going to call what method? What gets called? Network server.spawn on the server. Spawning of objects on clients instantiates the client object from the prefab, the object that was passed to the network server.spawn on the server. The network identity inspector preview panel shows the asset ID of the network identity. If this value that identifies the prefab, it is this value that identifies the prefab so that the client can create the objects. For this to work efficiently, there is a registration step. Okay. Registration of spawn prefab is completely done by network manager, yada yada. Okay, my network experience an alien object is spawned on the server, so that when an alien object is spawned on the server, the same kind of object will be created on the client. This registration. Alright, hold on. What could go wrong gaming? Okay, another question. Okay, so in JavaScript, if val is false, would make it so if val is false, it does the code. Correct. The same kind of object created a client scene. What is the equivalent in C#? It's the exact same. Let's say callback functions. Below is a simple example of a spawner that creates a tree at random. Okay, hold on. God damn, where's that method? I thought there was something that like automatically gets called when you call this, right? Oh, maybe not actually. Hold on. My spawner. When does spawn get? Oh, network server.spawn. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, really interesting. So let's look at this. So I think I'm done here. Right? I think we're done here. We did what was important here, which is we're registering that prefab. In Unity, create a new game object with instantiate something called spawning. Spawning objects are also added to set of network objects. Okay, so let's go ahead and just look at that object for a second. So on the player here, it has a network object. What happens if I bring this into the scene? Does anything change about it? It just has a network identity. Okay. I register that object. Now let's go ahead and actually spawn it on the server. But like, I feel like there's a missing step here. Let's see, network server spawn. Yes, all logic operators are the same. Spawn the given game object on all clients which are ready. Game object with a network identity to spawn. Okay, interesting. So let me try this. Let's try this. Upon successful login, right? We want to spawn that guy. Although it says spawn a game object. Or what's that add player one? Because we can do a lot of like, we're gonna definitely want to use that add player one. Because we can do a lot of like initialization for the player there. Alright, here we go. Client scene.add player. This adds a player game object for this client. This causes an add player message to be sent to the server, and network manager.onServer add player is called. If an extra message was passed to add player, then onServer add player will be called with a network reader. Yeah, that's so like we can do like initialization stuff. This adds a player game object for this client. This causes an add player message to be sent to the server. But what is that game object? Oh, wait, maybe it's this. Check this out. What if it's this? Client scene.add player? Oh, no, it wants me to like, is that a bool? What? This adds a player game object for this client. Let me see, this causes an add player message to be sent to the server. If extra messages are passed, player controller ID, the local player ID number. A network reader that contains the contents of the message. And then here we have a message to send over with it. Oh, I just realized something. This could be problematic. I can only send over one message when adding a player. What if I have like 5 different things to initialize on him, like 5 different scripts and all that good stuff? I don't know how we'll handle that. Alright. I definitely want to use add player, so let's figure out how to do it. Let's see. Alright, let's look at this. On server add player. Game object player. Alright, so this is the server creating it. To get a client to spawn. Let's see, where client is the current network client instance in the network manager and 0 is the player control ID. In nearly every case, this will be 0 unless you have a split screen. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Thank you. I was missing this call to manually add. Okay, thank you. I was missing this call to manually add a player. Unfortunately, the reconnection problem does not get fixed by this. Instead of using auto create player, I am now creating players using client scene.add player and handle the addition in on server add player like before, which again works the first time a client connects. If he disconnects and then reconnects, he still isn't being added again. I am calling client scene.remove player on disconnection as well. Alright, so let's try that. Client scene add player. Alright, so this is really important here. So we're not going to do this. We're going to do that for other objects. We do want to call client scene.add player. However, we only want to do that upon a successful login. So on connected to server, on disconnected from server, on login request received. So we process this login, user process server response, process server response, login success, and we'll go ahead here and we'll say client scene.add player, and here player controller ID. This adds a player. This causes the player controller ID. I think it's okay if it's always 0. It looks like they're doing 0. Hold on. let me look at this. So here it says player controller, the local player ID number. Okay, the local player, yes, it's always going to be 0. So here, on the client, we'll go ahead and say 0. Okay, add player, and then that's going to automatically fire off an event on the server, and we need to catch that now. And we'll catch that with the on server add player, network manager dot on server add player. So on server add player. So let's head over to the server, go into here, and we will have here void no. Shoot, how can I do that actually? Let me see, using Unity Engine Networking. Whoops, hold on. Like I modified something I didn't want to modify. Did you see my question? Yes, the and all logic operators are the same in JavaScript as well as C# and any language for that matter. Network server register handler event. These are message type that login requests. Okay, hold on. Let me see here if there's a message type for it. Ah, there is. Check this out. Internal networking system message for adding player objects to client instances. So this here is automatically going to get called. Alright, so here we're going to have on login received, void on, God dang it, what's the name of that method? It is on server add player. Oh my god, paint, you suck. On server add player. Alright, and I think we can take an optional network reader. Or network message, I mean. Alright, so on server add player, and let's add log here. Alright, on server add player was created, on server add player. Next is on server add player. Let's go and register this on server add player handler. Alright, so we're going to say network server dot register handler, message type dot add player, and then we're going to pass that into our network message delegate, which is going to be on server add player. Alright, pretty good. Alright, let's see here. So let's go and test this out and see if this just like works. Let's run the server. Let's run the client. So I don't know what it's going to actually instantiate. I didn't give it like the player or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't give it the player game object. So I'm not really sure how it's going to spawn. But let's see. Admin. Alright, so let's go and watch over here. Hit submit. Login successful. Okay, here we go. Must call add player with a connection the first time to become ready. Well, thanks for telling me that. Alright, one sec. Client scene.add player, and we have to give it a connection ID. So network connection readycon. So we're going to say client.instance.connection in 0. Alright, let's try that again. Server's already running. Okay, let's go ahead and unconnect it to server. Okay, wait, what? Must call add player unconnected. The message may not have any parameters. Okay, wait, I'm not sure what just happened there, but I'm going to stop the server. Stop the client. Alright, so rerun that again. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to say, I mean, what makes Unity better than other engines to you? Honestly, the community. The community and the open active development support just from Unity in general. They're Unreal for the longest time used to cost like literally $1 million. Unity since the start has always wanted to democratize game development, and that's something I strongly believed in. So, I don't know, Unity is, anything you can do in Unreal, you could do it just as well in Unity. There are certain things like networked FPSs and all that good stuff. I mean, yeah, use Unreal for that. You know, it's built for that. It was built for the Unreal Engine, Unreal Tournaments. But any other type of game, I mean, look at the game, there's that MMO, Albion Online. That was created in Unity 5, using Unity 5 networking, and it has 100,000 active players on one server. That was made in Unity. You would have no idea. So Unity today is like no longer just the noob engine or the cheap engine. It is a predominant player in the marketplace. And you have constant companies, you have big companies using it. You have Hi-Rez, who created the game Smite. They're using Unity now. Not for Smite, but for their upcoming project, they're using Unity. You have EA using Unity. You have Blizzard using Unity, like that card game they created. So a lot of big companies now are using Unity. Yeah, it's just an awesome engine. It's just easy. It's easy to use, and you can create whatever you want. All right, let's see here. Let's log in. Be nice if this worked. Okay, perfect. On server add player did indeed get called, and I don't know what happened game wise. Like nothing actually got instantiated, as far as I can tell. Like nothing. You guys see that? So what the hell did that actually do? Let me see if I can get any logs from this on server add player. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? On server add player. Let me see here. Called on the server when a client adds a new player with client scene.add player. The default implementation for this function creates a new player object from the player prefab. So override void on server add player. It takes in a network connection, a player controller, and a network reader, extra message reader. On server add player. Dude, this was absolutely useless. ID of the new player, okay. Connection from the client, ID of the new player, an extra message object passed from the player. Okay, I wonder, oh, okay, you know what? I see what's happening. So the client is saying, hey, I'm adding a player. The server is saying, like, okay, I'm gonna add it to the server as well. And what I believe needs to happen is the server now needs to send to the client, go ahead and spawn the object. I don't know if it's supposed to automatically spawn. Let me see here. Scene client add player example. Add player. This is an identifier that has a scope to the connection, so that maps the ID of the controller associated with the player. Alright, hold on. Treats player and clients as separate game object. In most cases, there is a single player for each client, but in some situations, yada yada, non-variable player is called if an extra message was passed. This adds a player game object for this client. Wrong. It did not add a player game object, and I'm assuming it's because, yes, sine and cosine still work in C#. Let me see here on server add player. I'm assuming I need to now send a response to the client, perhaps? But I don't know. You have mixed tabs and spaces, fix this, right? Alright. Shoot, how does this work? So the client added the player, on server add player. I imagine this is where I do my, like, on server, I imagine that this method is for, like, initializing the player. So, like, I would grab info from the database, initialize the player, grab info from the database, and send the data to the player. And then at that point, I assume I would spawn the player actually into the game. Does that kind of sound like that would be a good idea? Let me see if we can get any information about this. Let's see. Let's do network manager dot connections. No, network manager dot. I'm in the network manager. Oh, network server. Let's see. We'll add player for connection. Oh, dude. Okay, 1 second. This is returns a bool though. What? This accepts a network connection from another external source and adds it to the server. Add player for connection. And this spawns a game object on the server. On server add player for connection. Maybe that's what I want to do. Network connection con. Yeah, let's do that. Let me get that. I think I can do network connection. And I should be able to just go and say add player for connection, the game object player, because I would like to keep track of it on the server, spawning a game object as well. For now, at least. It could be useful for like debugging purposes. Alright, so let's go and do that. Let's create a game object here. This is your player prefab. Let's go and stop this. Let's go and create our player prefab. Okay, and we'll go ahead and call it player. And let's go and put it in here. Yeah, it just occurred to me too. Hold on. Something with this folder organization I don't like. Shoot. I didn't want to do that. Damn it. 1 sec. I'm just cleaning up something here. I want to delete that. I do want to check out something. I have this player prefabs. Okay, I see how I did that. Alright, I need to reorganize this. I also need to recreate my player, I think. I destroyed it over here. I did. I took it out. Alright, that's fine for now. Hold on, I want to make sure that this is actually the way to do this. Let me see. Set the player prefab. Give it a network identity. Yeah, okay, so they have this player prefab thing as part of their network manager. Player spawn. Let's see. unit spawning the player. I'm having issues trying to spawn the player with unit. I don't want to go through the network manager since I have to set up some variables once the player is spawned, but once I spawn the player, is local player and has authority or false? And yes, local player authority is checked on the network identity, so here's our controller, here's the script. Let's see. Player spawn. Start, create player, we create it. Trainer equals that. Game object cam equals that. Instantiate. Let's see, network server.spawn. And it says trainer. The script is attached to an object on the server side, right? If not, it should be. The network server.spawn is useful when you want to spawn a server controlled object. However, there is the network server.addPlayer for connection function, which can be used to spawn an object and set the target connection as the owner. Oh, okay. Alright, well, that's useful. The add player functionality can be requested. How do I make a double into a float? It's the exact same. You can do double my float or just float. It's the same thing. Is local will be true. Besides that, you use on start. Let's see. The add player functionality can be requested on client side by calling client scene to add player. Add player functionality can be requested on client side. Okay, so it's still a request. It's not actually adding anything. So this script is attached to an object server. Okay, the network server.spawn is useful when you want to spawn a server-controlled object. However, there is a network server.addPlayer for connection function which can be used to spawn an object and set that target connection as the owner. The add player functionality can be requested on client side by calling client scene.addPlayer, and you should rethink the system. The camera should be spawned on the client and only once, shouldn't it? When you add a player for a client, the instantiate object is local player. Besides that, you can use the onStart local player function override from network behavior. When this function is called, you should spawn your camera object. Right, so here's this example here. OnStart local player, we create the game object. That's the camera. Server side, here we go. So we have a player spawner. We have the game object player prefab. We spawn the player and we pass it a network connection. We create the player. So we instantiate the player prefab. Network server.addPlayer for connection. Add player for connection. That player object 0. You can use message type.addPlayer type message to actually add the player. Register handler on client add player. We did this. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's using. I'm going to put it on the other monitor for a minute. On client add player. What did we use? We did not use that. We did on server add player. But then there is, I guess you can send back a message called on client add player. And when that gets called, add player message equals message add player message. If message.player controller ID equals 0, if you want to check this, spawning player, and then we spawn player with that connection. This is all on server side as well, right? Network server.register handler on client add player. Oh wait, that add player. Okay, okay, that is mine. On server add player, so we can use that one too. So I'm gonna go to that. It doesn't like that I've changed this, so hold on server add player. I'm gonna keep this up for a minute because I think now we can actually get this working. Let's see, we're going to do add server add player. Oh, that's why. On server add player. Network on server add player networking.network connection in short player ID. Those are the parameters. Controller ID. Alright, now hopefully it doesn't complain. God dang it, why? Hold on. Argument 2, cannot convert from method group to network message delegate. Why not? On server side. On server add player, we pass in a connection, a short controller ID. Player controller ID, yeah. Weird. Here, I'm gonna copy this. Oh, okay. I don't think I can I think it wants me to override theirs, that's why. It's a Unity method, which I think, did we do that on any of these other ones? We did not. Or I didn't have to, maybe. Regardless, let me try this. Alright, public void, on server add player. Here we have network connection, we have a short, and we have a network message. Man, it does not like that, I don't know why. Alright, one sec. Let me try this. Network connection. Might not actually need that part. Let me just do the network message. I think we can get everything we need from that, perhaps. Network message, extra message reader. Alright, let's see. Although, crap, I could have sworn we just had this working. What was, I don't remember what this first parameter was. I think it was the network message. Or was it just the connection or something? Either way, it's happy now because it's getting a network message in here, which is what it wanted. So, let's see. On server add player, we'll get called. We'll do our initialization stuff, and here, what we want to do now is let's go ahead and in our server create the player object, and we're going to assign the client to it basically. Alright, we're going to go into prefabs here. Let's create our player. Delete him from here. I believe he does need a network identity. Okay. Alrighty. Let's head back into our network manager. Let's add this player prefab. Save the scene. Head back in here. On server add player will get called. And what we want to do, let's see here. The network server.spawn is useful when you want to spawn a server controlled object. However, there is a network server.add player for connection function which can be used to spawn an object and set the target connection as the owner. The add player functionality can be requested on client side by calling client scene.add player, which we're doing. And you should rethink the system. The camera should be spawned on the client. Alright, real quickly here, I also want to look at this. I want to add this. I think I need, in order for this to work, called on the server when a client adds a new player with the client scene.add player. The default implementation for this function creates a new object. I think it needs a namespace based on what they're using, network system. Networking network system. Said that. And now I do on server player there. Let's see here. Can I add these guys back in now? Network connection con. My short is player controller ID. And our network message, extra message reader. Alright, still no. However, what if I did this? Public override void. Network manager to on server add player. No suitable method found to override. God dang it. That's very annoying. It's because I'm not using the traditional network manager. It really sucks. Shoot. Let me see. I don't know if I can actually, I don't know what I can get from this. When this is called, what can I get? Can I get the extra message reader.con? Oh, I can't. Okay, the connection the message was received on. Okay, good. So I should be able to do this then. Alright, so basically here we're going to have, let's see. So here we're going to call network server.addPlayer for connection, just like we did before. So network server, how do I make a double? Be right back. Alright. Network server dot add player for connection. We're going to pass in our connection. Alright, so we're going to say let's see. So dot connection. Shoot, add player gets called on server, add player will get called. I hope this is right. We're going to add that connection followed by the game object, the player prefab, and then the short player controller ID, which we'll set to 0. Alright, let's go ahead and let's give this a shot, see what happens server side. So if I go over to the client here, processing the server response, we add player, and we should be able to assign that connection now to this object. So let's go ahead and run the server, run the client, admin. Alright, game object player is a prefab. It can't be spawned. This will cause errors in builds. What the hell? Game object player is a prefab. It can't be spawned. Oh, okay, so it doesn't want to be a prefab. So how does that work? Put it here, delete that. Go to game object, break prefab instance. Alright, so now it's just a, okay, try that. Now it's just a player. Interesting. I don't know how well this is going to work out. Alright, let's see. Oh, okay. I need to actually, although I thought, oh, okay, hold on. I think I know what we have to do. Okay, we do want that prefab. Ah, dang it. We do want this prefab. Go into Network Manager. Instead of doing this, I think we need to first create that object. That makes sense. That makes sense. So here we're creating the new player. So here we're saying game object player equals a new, equals game object, equals instantiate, and the player prefab as a game object. Okay? And then what I'm going to do now is, instead of player prefab, we're going to do player. This should work. Let's delete him from here. He's got his network ID still. Yep. Okay. And save. Run the server. Go back to the client, on the client. So here we have username is admin. Okay, so it sort of worked. As you can see, we got an unassigned references. The variable player prefab of network manager has not been assigned. Oh, right, so I removed it. Add the player back there, save, run the server, go back to the client. So rerun that. What could go wrong gaming? I would, okay, so I made a script to move a 2D object with W and S keys and have velocity, but when I'm not moving the object, we keep going up and down by a few pixels. It sounds like you might be using input.getAccess. Try input.getAccess raw. Alright, admin. Okay, and check it out. It looks like if we look on the server, this is a player. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do this. Let's build this and add another client here. And we should have two objects now spawned on the server. What we need to do next is spawn it on the client. So we're spawning it on both. Let me see here. Alright, so we're gonna do Pied Piper here. And we're gonna log in. Okay, Pied Piper's logged in. Let's go and log in here. I'm using input.getKey. Use input.getKey down maybe, or I don't know, man. At the current time, I'm not able to look at it at the moment, but I would probably go to like the Unity forums and post there, and then you can post a link back to here and I'll look at it and try and help you out and post your code as well. Alright, so check this out. Okay, so how many objects are on the server? Okay, so 3 objects are on the server because I logged out of one and I didn't delete one, so technically just 2 are. Alright, so this is working here. However, it's giving us an error in the editor here. It says failed to spawn server object. Did you forget to add it to the network manager? Oh, okay, wow, very cool. So by doing that, it tried to spawn it on the client as well. And as you can see, it failed to spawn server object because it doesn't know what object to spawn. So how do we fix that? So it is working here, which is great. So here, I'm going to restart this. I'm going to restart both these clients as well. Okay, so we're going to log in here. We're going to open up this client. Okay, got the client, and let's go ahead and log in. Alright, so as you can see on the server, we're good. And over here, it got called twice. Whoops. Alright, on server add player got called twice. If we look over here, we have 2 players, okay? And the observer is connection 2, connection 1, and this guy is connection 1, so it should be reversed. Connection 1, connection 2. So check it out. So we are successfully created on the server. We just need to now get successfully created on the client. You can see here it failed twice to spawn both of us, right? Because it doesn't, I'm assuming it doesn't know what to spawn. The question is, what gets called back on the client when on server add player gets called? So let's see here. We need to look at how can we do this? Let's see. This script is attached to the network servers. The network server.spawn is useful when you want to spawn a server controlled object. However, there is a network server.add player for connection function which can be used to spawn an object. Add player functionality can be requested on client side. And you should rethink the system. The camera should be hold on start local player. Oh, okay, very cool. Alright, so I think, okay, so if I'm not mistaken now, what we can do is let's head over to our client. Alright, we're going here, we're going to turn off this guy. Let's go over here, we have our player game object. Player info here. Let's go to the game. Let's go and create our player again. Okay. We'll put them in our prefabs folder. I'm going to organize all this too before the end of this video. Alright, we got our player here. Okay. And we can delete him now. One thing I need to do is inside the game here, or inside our client here, inside the client, let's see, when this gets pulled over, what needs to happen here? Let's say, let's look at our client. So we don't destroy the client on load, right? So here we go ahead and say client register handler, yada yada. Client connect. Process server response. Here we say add player. This adds a player game object for this client. This causes an add player message to be sent to the server, and network manager on server add player is called. If an extra message was passed to the add player, then on server add player will be called with a network reader that contains the contents of the message. Okay, so I wonder if I could do this. Client scene, whoops. Shoot, what is that called? Removes the specified player ID from the game. Oh, cool. Okay, so we're going to use that too. And that will call something on the server side to remove them from the server. Alright, so hold on. So I'm sure we're not the only ones who have gotten this error before. Let's get that. Let's try that again. Oh, whoops. So main menu. Alright, let's see. Here we have alright, failed to serve spawner. Let's check that out. There we go. Alright, so when a client connects to the server spawns the game object at the client. However, I get a failed to spawn server object. The player prefab has a network identity with local player auth checked. What am I missing? The player prefab is not registered with the spawning system. It must be in a slot on the network manager or registered with the client scene.register prefab. Okay, so it does need to be registered. So we still need to do that. Perfect. Let's do that. So I can probably do that right here, right? I can register it right when you connect, or should I do it before you connect? I'm sure I could do it right then. Or we should probably do it here. Connect. Before we connect, let's create the player. Actually, you know what? Nah, I don't like that. I am going to do it here and see if we have any problems. So before we add the player, we're going to go ahead and say client scene.register prefab. And we'll say client.instance.player prefab. Where is that? Public game object player prefab. Okay, we'll go over here, login request dot player prefab. Hold on. Client.instance.player prefab. Come on. Client instance player prefab. Public game object player prefab. I don't know why it's being a pain in the ass like that. What could go wrong gaming? Dude, hold on. I told you go to the Unity forums and like post for help about whatever the issue is, and I'll take a look at it. I mean, just sending me your code. Let me see. Hold on. Alright, your paste bin's not even working for some reason. Here. Alright, so you have your player control, you have your velocity, your still player input. So here, so if input.getKey keycode.w, velocity plus equals 1. If you hit the S, it's minus equals 1. If input.key, alright, this line right here makes 0 sense. Alright, delete this line. No sense right there. Player.getComponent, rigid body velocity equals new vector 2 and velocity. Yeah, this should be okay. Input.getKeyW, I would use input.getAccess instead. So look up input.getAccess for horizontal and vertical inputs. Alright, so back to what we were doing. Alright, it's spawning on the server. Let's make it spawn on the client. So if I go over here to the client, we just registered that prefab. Unity engine.network and network client could be found. You're missing a summary reference. Player prefab of type network client. What? Public game object player prefab. Let's see. Alright, here's our player. Let's head on over to our login request. Let's see here. Go into our login request. Here we go. I mean, shit, it wants a game object, right? Yeah, game object prefab. Client.instance.player prefab. Weird. I don't know why I can't grab that. I've never had that issue before. Public game object player prefab. I wonder if there's some weird rule about doing it like this. Let's see. Unity Engine network client does not contain a definition for player prefab. Okay. But like, what? Why? I should be able to get everything. Client. So client.instance, it returns the client, and I should have access to all these public variables. But I do not. I don't know how it's messing that up. Alright, well that's very annoying, so here, we're going to do it this way. This player game object here, player info, is going to hold the game object. So here we have public game object player prefab. Alright, and we'll go ahead and use him instead. Let's try that. So we'll say player info dot instance dot, there you go, player prefab. I don't know why it wasn't working on the client one. That's really weird. Alright, so let's see. Let's go and test this out, see if it works. Hope it does. We'll add the player. Our network's good. Alright, let's run the server. And we'll run the client. Okay, let's go and log in. And we did it! Kind of. Alright, on server add player was called, could not register player since it contains no network identity component. Right, that was my fault. Network identity. Try it again. So close. Well, I'm going to stop the server. Alrighty. Username is, we'll say admin. Alrighty. Okay, so it still didn't work. Failed to spawn server up. Did you forget to add it to the network manager? No, I added it. I said register. Okay, so I'm assuming what happens now is that I can't call it here. I have to register this prefab, I think, before I connect, if I had to guess. So here we connect. Let's do it there. And we'll go ahead and try that. Let's go ahead and shut our server off. Start the server. Start this guy. Okay. Log in. Damn it. Why not? Failed to spawn server object. Did you forget to add it to the network manager? I did not forget. Let me see here. I'm attempting to create a player object for connecting client. I've set the player prefab variable to be an empty object with a network identity attached to it. The issue is that once the client connects, the player object is created on the server, but the client gets this error. I'm not sure if this is something that I have set up incorrectly on the server or client in order to get this error. The client does connect to the server and switch scenes successfully just before this happens. So for anyone else dealing with this problem, I found my solution. I have my client and server code in 2 separate projects, which was an issue because the player prefab, in 2 separate projects, which was an issue because the player prefabs for the client and server must share the same meta file in order to work. Okay, that's actually okay. This could also be the case for any networked object someone might want to create through network server.spawn. But I have not tested it personally. Good luck for anyone dealing with a similar issue. Damn it. I don't have a small demo project to show. I found this issue while working on a rather large code. However, I can say that my particular issue with the spawning a player object happened because I have 2 separate projects, one for the server and one for the client. So when I assigned my player objects, the prefabs I was using did not share the same metadata, which caused issues. But you have one project for both your server and client, then I am not entirely sure. Maybe we may not miss it. My project's running on 2 unities, one project for common project. Each project has a game object with a network manager. Prefab, the same meta, the same settings. The prefab has network identity and network transform client code. We have a demo prefab, register prefab, server code, client scene.register prefab. You don't need to do that for the server code. Oh, I see. You're getting failed to spawn error as well. I have not messed with network server.spawn myself yet. I've only used the automatic player object spawn. However, I'm fairly certain that you don't need the on GUI code. Oh, it's pretty bad. I don't use a custom connect, so a single call to network manager start client calls connect. Okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe my prefabs are different. Let's hope that's the case. An easy fix to this, honestly, is to go to the Explorer. Alright, and we're going to overwrite our server one. So here's our server one. Looks pretty identical to me. We're going to show an Explorer. That will be a big problem, I think, down the road. We'll see. Player prefab. Alright, we're going to overwrite it here. So this is the assets prefabs on the server. Delete them from here, and we're going to copy and paste here. Alright, now they're identical. Let's hope that works. Oh, shit. I wonder if that's why. Because I'm spawning this guy from... Although, no, that shouldn't matter. I don't think so. No, just their prefabs seem to be identical. Alright, let's go and try this. Run the server. Run the client. Otherwise, I'm meaning to figure this out. I don't know why. Why it's being a pain in the ass. Alrighty. Admin. Fuck yeah. You guys see that? Hell yeah. Alright, that was it. So their meta just had to match. Hell yes. So check it out. We have successfully created a player on the server as well as a player on the client. If I go ahead and actually launch up a new client here. Alright, let's go ahead and launch up the client. We should have 2 and 2 now. Now we won't be able to see them, unfortunately, because they're stacked on top of each other. Username J Weinberg. Whoops, wrong one. All right, and as you can see here, okay, so now that actually did not work properly. Why not? Or maybe I just can't see it. Oh, right. This is the wrong game. Hold on, I have to actually rebuild this. That's an old client. So we need to say Control B over at this client. let's go ahead and start our server. Let's go ahead and hop in game here. Play. We'll log in with admin on the desk one. Alright, check it out. On the server it got spawned. Here it is on the little client here. Everything's good there. Let's go ahead and log in here. Okay, we'll log in with Pied Piper. And it works. Check it out. Everyone has a box in front of them, and if you look here on the game, there are 2 players in the game. We officially have working network spawning. Now what we want to do now is have the ability so that when the server disconnects, we disconnect the players, okay? Or we need the ability to now, like if the server goes off, or I'm sorry, not if the server goes off, if they log out, we need to remove that player from the server. So that would ideally be the next thing. I think this is a good save point though. So save my scenes, everything. Alrighty, save. Open up Git. Alright, we have a lot of, you can see we made a lot of changes. And what we're going to do is we're still working in this feature, but it's a good save point. So we're going to say add all. Add here. Oh, I may need to shut down Unity, let's say. Close. Try it again. Alrighty. Alright, everything's added. Okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll say, let's do git branch, make sure we're on our spawning player branch. In here we'll do a git commit -m, and we'll go ahead and say working client server player spawning, or added client server player spawning. Sweet. Alright, and then we'll do a git push. We'll say git push set upstream origin spawning player. Alright, and that's now going to the web. Let's see here. Alright, so I do want to look at let's see. How long have we been streaming this thing for? Quite a bit, huh? Boy, what time is it? It's already like midnight here, so this might actually be a good stopping point. I don't even know how long I've been streaming for. It doesn't really say for me for some reason. I'm assuming a couple hours though. I don't know if this actually tells me. No, I don't think so. OBS? I guess. Oh yeah, okay. So it's been 2.5 hours right now of stream time. So let's. I do want to be able to disconnect from the server pretty badly. So I may look into that real quickly. But I just want to make sure that my source is good. 2 demo client. I can look at my branches. Alright, and you'll see here spawning player branch, and I can delete that later. I'll delete it, or maybe I'll delete it probably once the feature's done. And, ooh, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at our Trello, make sure we're updating that. Let's see. Is this the 2D MMO adventure game or something? Alright. I think this is it. Embassy drop system. Okay, yeah, this is what we were going off of. Very cool. Alright, so we did world chat, networking, let me see here if we have anything for this. Combat, inventory, network, player setup. So here we have a point and click to move. That's going to be game side stuff. So we're still actually in network. We're still in networking. We're going to go ahead and add. We're going to do player spawning. Alright. So we got player spawning. What we need to do, right, is player removing over the network. Another thing we need to do is already logged in check, right? Check for if already logged in. Or prevent duplicate logins. Right? Prevent duplicate logins. Alrighty. Oh, so you know what? That also makes me wonder if I had to register the prefab before you connect. I don't think you do. Let's see here. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. So basically, as soon as a network server or client becomes active, is spawned on a server, I'm assuming it means the same thing for a client. As soon as it comes active, it has its list of prefabs and stuff like that, which makes sense. So you do have to do it before. So I may create a separate handle class that's going to handle just registering prefabs, because we're going to have a bunch. Alright, so let me see here. Is there anything else? Let's go ahead and try the player removing real quickly. Let's see how long it takes. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Let's go ahead and reopen up our projects. Unity 2017-1. Our client. Server. Now is when, like, this game, as it starts coming alive and stuff like that, it gets so much more fun to develop. Because you can actually start to, like, see things actually happening. You're not just creating the base foundations anymore, you know? You actually start to see your work come to life, so it's pretty cool. Alright, so what I want to do, here's the server. We need to look at how to remove a player. So just like we can add player, there is a scene, client scene, remove player. There's gotta be, I saw it earlier. Register prefab, remove player. It says removes the specific player ID from the game. Both the client and the server destroy the player game object and remove it from the player list. The player controller ID is scoped to this client. No global to all players, not global to all players or clients. Okay, let's go and test this out. So basically remove player. So here, right, let's say when I hit the escape key, we want to exit out, right? So let's do that through the client here. Let's see here. What's our player info? I may be renaming this to player. Just FYI. Trying to think here. How, the best way to like do this. Because I don't really like player info. I think this player class is going to become a much bigger thing. At a later time at least. I do want to create something that says like when I hit the escape key I kind of sign out. So let's do that through here perhaps. Although ideally we should have like an input manager, but for the time being I'm going to just do it in here. I also want to look at when I stop the game. Okay, yeah. So here's what needs to happen, right? So we're going to have update. We're going to hit the escape key. So we hit the escape key. Alright. And what happens when we hit the escape key? We are going to say, I want to just shut the application actually. On application, whoops, not focus. On application quit. Okay. And we're going to call that. Now this gets called automatically when you X out of a program. This also gets called now when I hit the escape key. And all I want to do here is I would like to do two things. I need to remove from the server and go to main menu. Okay. So looking at this, we have our main menu. So let's do the go to main menu one. It's easy. So scene manager. We have to add the namespace scene management. So here we're going to say scene manager dot load scene, and we're going to load the main menu. Shit, how does that take? A string? Yeah, string scene name. So we're going to say main menu. Alright, and then before we do that, we want to remove the player from the server. So we need to go ahead and say player client scene, or scene client. What is it? Client scene. And we need Unity Engine networking for this to work. Okay, so we're going to do scene, client scene dot remove player, and we pass in our 0 basically. I imagine what's going to happen now is automatically it should delete. Okay, it should delete the objects on both the client and the player. So let's go ahead and see if that's the case. Let's do Control B. Let's get a new build going. Overwrite this. Run the server. Hey, what's up, Graydale? Thanks, man. I'm glad. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the server going. The clients are opened. Alright, we're going to log in here. Alrighty, so as you can see here, we did log in. We instantiated on both the client and server. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit the escape key. And it works. Check it out. We were removed from the server, and we were sent back to the main menu. Great. Now let me try logging in again with the same account. Make sure everything works fine. What could go wrong gaming? Awesome, dude. Yeah, get access works way better. Yep. All right, and there you go. We're here. Now let me go ahead and let's log in with our actual client here. I'm curious to see if we'll see it remove on all clients, or if I need to somehow send out and tell everyone to remove. So let's do this. So username, let's see, username, password. We'll go ahead and say Piper. We'll call this test. Alright, so here we go. So everyone is logged in. As you can see here in the server, there's 2 clients, and on the player, there are 2 players. Now, what happens if I were to log out of this guy? Alright, we're looking at the server right now. I want to be looking actually at the client, and make sure this still works. Hey admin. Alright, we're good. Sweet. Ooh, we're not good. What the hell happened there? Ooh, you guys see that? What the fuck? How did I not catch that before? Why is it double posting? WTF? Oh, that's so weird. It's only on the person sent. Wait, what? Is it only on this client? Dude. Alright, so it's sent once there, but twice here. It's sent twice here, but once there. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. So there's 2 players, so I'm spawning it for 2 players. I need to check if is local clients. Right, it's only the client. So I'm basically, I'm getting everyone's messages and it's relaying it twice. I don't need to do that. So what I want to do instead is inside this chat message here, I believe this handle message received from server is getting called from everyone. And I don't want to process it on everyone's client. I only want to process it on my client, I believe. So what I can do is when we create a new message, or handle message received from server, I think I can do it right here. I can check if is local, or if client.instance.is local, or how the hell can I do that? If network client.is local, motherfucker. Hold on. How do we determine, let's see, Unity. Identifying the local player. If is local player. Oh, it's part of a network behavior. Okay, right. I remember that. So, here's what we need to do. Save it. This chat message is fine, because it's handling message receiving this here. This guy is not a mono behavior. He is now a network behavior. We need to include the using Unity engine .networking. He becomes a network behavior. And right here, when we create a new message, we only want to do so if we're the local player. Alright, so another alternative is if local player is false, right? So if local player is false, which is typically you'll see it like this, but when I'm making YouTube videos, I like to kind of be more explicit. So if it's false, then I want to return. Now, this may work, it also may not. I honestly don't know. I hope this works. We'll see. Otherwise, that's a huge bug, and we gotta fix it. Alright, let's go ahead and close everything down. Start the server back up. Alright, let's go ahead and start this client. Let's control B it. Let's build. Let's see. What could go wrong gaming? I need help every time I build it. It just shows me blue screen when I launch. You need to probably add your scene. So go to File, Build Settings, and add your scene. Make sure it's there. Alright, username. Let's try this. Admin. Alright, we logged in here. And if I log in here, okay. Moment of truth. There we go. What the hell just happened? Ah, man, did I break? I think I did. Hold on. I did. Okay. When I made that a network player, I think I may have broke it. Let's see. Actually, no, hold on. Network behavior dot is local player. No reference exception object reference. That's an instance of an object. Oh, there was no network identity on this object. I have to add one. What? Do I really? Huh, I don't know if I want that actually. Suppose it can't hurt. And we can go ahead and, let's see, let's try that. Let's get a new build. Whoa. So, well, we just hit our double digits. We got 10 people watching right now. It's funny, everyone was saying I should be streaming to Twitch, and I do, but all 10 of you guys are on YouTube right now. Alright, let's see here. Log in. Alright, we logged into the client here, and holy shit, what happened? That was incorrect in every way. Hold on. I think I built the wrong thing. Alright, let's go ahead and run the client over here. I'm sorry, the server. Yeah, run the server, run the clients. Okay. Go ahead and log in here. Dude, why? Oh, god dang it. I'm on the main menu. Ugh, that's annoying. Hold on. I need to rebuild this. There we go. Alrighty. Now we can log in properly. So let's go ahead and log in. Admin. Oh, interesting. Okay, what the hell just happened there? Wow. Alright, hold on. I'm shutting everything down. I don't know what the hell just happened. I have like, okay, this is the server. Here's the client. Alright, let's start the server. Log in with the client. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're in, we're good. Although, what happened to... Dude. What happened to my canvas? Where the hell was my chat system? Oh, man. Come on. Really? Did I accidentally turn that off? Why did I do that? Oh, no, I didn't. This network identity thing is shutting it off. What the fuck? Wait, it's not working. Let's see. Message is clear. Something to target. Alright, adding this identity piece screwed something up. I'm going to remove it. Open up the chat controller here. Huh. Let me see here. Network behavior. Why is it getting it twice? I imagine it's getting it twice because everyone is calling create new message. And we only want the local player to create new messages. Alright, hold on, let's add that back. Alright, it's on there. Main menu. Okay, let's go and log in. Alright, so why would it be off? There's not even an error message. It just got like shut off. Which makes really no sense to me. So yeah, so like why? Let's see, so the player got cloned, so we created a player here. And game chat panel, for whatever reason, decided to shut off. Like, dude, why? Received new world chat message, hey, from connection ID 1. Okay, and it's actually not displaying anything anymore. Like, why? Why did that break? That makes no sense. Alright, hold on. I gotta take off this because that's clearly screwing it up. Let's get in here and remove this. Let's make this a mono behavior again. Let me see. A public direct transform placeholder text right here. Save that. Save. Go back to main menu. Let's run the server. Alright. Dude. I don't understand what the hell just happened. Why is this getting turned off? Why? Stop turning off. Let me see, I removed the, oh, goddamn, this network identity thing is still here. Get off there. Alright, go back to the main menu. Restart the server. Log in. Okay, there we go. Jeez, that was annoying. Alright, so we're back in here. Alright, let's go ahead and build a new client. Let's see if we can debug what the hell is going on with this double message stuff. And pinpoint where it's at. let's go and log in here. Okay, log in here. Alright, so if I say, hey, oh, I need to readjust the scaling of this thing too. That text box is way too big. Alright, so it works great over here. But if I say, hey, dude, you've got to be shitting me. Is that like working fine now? What the fuck? Alright, well, I know I'm not crazy. I know that totally was like doing it twice for who knows why. Dude. Everyone did see that it was totally spazzing out big time, right? Everyone saw that? It was definitely going off like multiple times, and then for whatever reason this network ID was shutting it off. Okay, well, regardless, let me go ahead and hit the escape key right now. Now, I'm back here in the main menu. If I look here on the server, there's only going to be 2 objects because I never restarted it from the last one. So this did work. What I'm curious to know, though, is did I delete? And I did. I think I did. Okay, no, I didn't. So I deleted off the server, but I didn't delete off the client. And here, let's go and do this. Let's give my clients a random position so that we can actually see them when they get spawned. So check this out. Let's go ahead and do let's see here. What could go wrong gaming? Dude, I don't know why it's not working for you, man. You just need to add it to your build settings and make sure you're on that right scene. Otherwise, I'm not sure why it's just blue for you. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, remove player. Removes it from the server. That's working. Right, hold on. Let me add different positions to these guys. So inside the login requests, we add a player, the chat controller, oh, okay, interesting, actually. I wonder, I don't think they automatically, maybe they do actually. 1 second. One thing we need to do first is, I believe on this player, he has a network identity. I think he needs a network transform so that their positions get synced over the network. Sync transform, snap threshold, interpolate, movement factor, yada yada, compression, rotation. Okay, this looks good. Network send rate in seconds. I think it's supposed to be 0. Oh, no, it's not. I'm going to keep it at 9 for now. I'll have to look into what it should be. Alright, I'm going to save this. I'm going to hop over to our client. Click on our player. Add a network transform. Okay, save. And I want to, on the server, when we spawn them in, because we spawn on the server, let's open this up. Alright, we're going to say network server add player. Here, I want to say player.transform.position. It's going to equal a new position, whoops, a new vector 3. And I'm going to give them a random range on the X between like -5, or -3 and +3. Make it 4. All right. 0 for the y, 0 for the z. So we're just going to move them on the x a bit. Alright, what's the error? Do I have an error? 1, 2, 1. Oh, I do. Okay, my bad. Alright, here we go. So, let's go ahead and run the server. Run the client. Okay, here we are. Chat works fine. There's one player. Now, let's go ahead and spawn in the other guy. Okay. So username is, we'll say admin. Okay, so here we go. So we got 2 players here, and chat seems to be working great. I don't know how the hell it got so screwed up last time. Alright, so I got 2 here. Now I'm gonna hit escape on the main this client here that's moving. Right, this little one. I hit escape, and you're gonna notice I'm gonna disappear from the server, but I'm not gonna disappear from the client on the other client. Oh shit, I did. Oh, dude, beast. Oh, well then, damn, that's just alright. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, there's only 1 player. Okay, so everything is working amazingly. We have full login and logout. Sweet. Alright, so I'm going to check that off the list, and then let's polish this up a bit. So back into our networking setup, player removing, check. Alrighty. Now, let's... Alright, that is awesome and working and amazing. Let's head over to our client real quickly. We need to clean up some stuff. And then we're going to clean up some stuff on the server too. Alright, so over here on the client, I need to organize this more. So like here we have all of our scripts, right, which is fine. I don't like that we're just throwing all our prefabs in here. I kind of want to create a data structure or a folder structure, sort of how like RuneScape did it. Let me see here. Where was that? Ah, shoot, that was in the working one. I deleted that folder. Dang it. I'm too lazy to download another one. Let me see here. Maybe we can find it online. RuneScape private server folder structure. Nope. Alright, well, regardless, that's fine. Here, we'll kind of make our own, sort of keep this as neat as we can. Here's what's going to happen eventually. This is going to get it's going to become a very big project. I mean, already, look at all the scripts it takes just to do a simple chat system and a client-server communication with player spawning. Like, it's going to get messy, and it's going to get messy very quickly. So it's super important that we, RNGesis. I don't know what that means. It's super important that we stay organized at all times here. So like, I still am not confident with what the hell I'm doing with this player script inside of scripts game, or this folder in general, right? Like this folder in general is related to the game, and then we have player. So what's going to go in this, right? This is going to handle everything related to the player. Now that could also be this player info class, which I'm really not keen on. I want to kind of remove this. I want to get this out of here and kind of turn this into what it should have been. Like this player info should only be the player name. Okay, it should be the player name. It should be things like the player name, the amount of messages you have on the forums. It should be your IP address. It should be things that are related to your account. It should be nothing game specific related. So like for instance, the player prefab is stored here. I don't like that. We're definitely not keeping any of this here. We're definitely not keeping any of this here. So we need to turn that into somewhere else. Also the client, it has to come over, I believe, but like I don't ever want to put a variable in here. I want this client to strictly be, I want it to have one job. I want it to be upon connection. I want it to register all prefabs that need to be registered. So like, I guess every game object in the game essentially will have to be registered, right? So I want it to handle that, and then I want it to basically go ahead and register our handlers, and I want it to only be a handler. That's all it should do. It should just register handlers. That's all this class should ever do. I don't want it to handle any logic. I just want it to send requests. Just constantly send requests, and that's it. And then anything with the GUI, I want to stick to the MVC pattern. So like you can see here with the chat, I have a controller, a model, and a view. I like this, and I think it works really well. So I want to definitely keep this. There was something I wanted to clean up in here. This, I want to get rid of this space. So I definitely want to keep this, as we're going to be doing more stuff with that, with everything that's on the GUI. So let's see how we can clean this up a bit. Let's see. So we have our game folder inside scripts. We have our scenes folder, we have our prefabs folder. I hate this. I hate that we have messages and player here. I feel like we should have like game, chat system, and then everything related to chat system. So like in here we'll have prefabs as well as, you know, whatever else, right? Scripts and so forth. So maybe that's how it should be. Maybe we should have like a master game folder and organize it that way. So let's go ahead and do that, because I think that's just a overall way better way to stay organized. So I'm going to go ahead and create a game folder. Alright, our scenes can always stay at the top. I can even put it in here, I'm okay with that. So you have your scenes, that would always be at the top. It's just a preference of mine. Next thing I want to do is I want to kind of, inside the game, right, I want to have like, I guess a GUI folder, right? Graphical user interface. And then inside here, we'll have its own folder structure for everything related to this chat, right? So inside here, we'll have a new folder called chat system. And actually, honestly, I don't even fucking like that. I'm trying to think what the best way to do this would be. Organize it into systems by game. Yeah, you know what? We can do that. Here, we'll do UI. We'll do chat system. Okay, we have a chat system here. We're going to go ahead and put in inside the chat system, we have our scripts. Alright, so we have all our scripts. Next, we will have a prefabs folder related to the chat system. And we'll go ahead and put our message in there. Alright, so now, just looking at this already, right? So we have our game, we have our scenes here. We have our UI, user interface. So far we have a chat system. Eventually we'll also have like an inventory system, right? Inside here we have our prefabs related to the message. And we have our scripts for the chat system. Alright, I think I like that a lot. Next, right, we have, and we'll separate things out too by like main menu and scene, game scene and stuff like that too. So let's look at this next. So here's our player, right? Alright, so we have our scenes, we have our UI. Now we're gonna actually have our like actual game. So this is gonna be more so like model, content, and so forth, and networking type shit and utilities. Let's see. One thing I want to do, I want to separate utilities. I want that to be its own toolbox for us to use. Alright, utilities will have just a bunch of helper scripts. We don't need this chat anymore. This player info, I hate. Alright, let's see here. We'll go ahead and do game UI. Alright, let's go ahead and do networking. Alright, we'll have a networking side of the game. Alright, inside networking, what are we going to have? Alright, we have all of our message handlers, which we can keep. And we have our client. Alright, so here's the same thing. So message handling and client is inside the networking subfolder. Alright, and then here we'll have content, perhaps. Delete this, and then inside content, right? We'll have a player folder. So this will be everything related to the player. All right, so we'll have the player info, we'll have the player class, we'll have all his skills, his attributes, his equipment, his inventory. Everything related to the player will be inside here. Everything related to the view of the inventory will be inside of the UI here. All right, so we'll keep it really nice and organized. Now, player info, I really don't like this. Maybe I should call this something else. I just don't know what, but maybe player info is fine. Alright, so let's delete this. And then here we have main menu and the scripts for this, right? So we have, our main menu is the graphical user interface, right? So we have a login model and we have a view. Hold on. Where the hell is our login controller? What? Hold on. What? Oh, okay. Hold on. I don't know why I'm not using a, yeah, okay, process login. Weird. I don't know why I'm not using a controller. That's technically incorrect. I mean, it's not totally wrong. The way I'm doing it here is I've created here a view model view, which might be okay because it's a main menu that you interact with, versus the chat has more functionality to it. There's more logic processing on the chats. So this might actually be okay. I'm okay with this. But I do model view and then, okay, I do like doing it like this, keeping it model and view. So let me organize that up here as well. Or maybe not, actually. Any of you guys web designers familiar with the MVC pattern? I don't know if by standard you're supposed to have more than one controller, more than one model. Like for any MVC type thing, are you supposed to have more than one controller, model, view? Like, I don't know if it's worth me creating 3 separate folders just to host one separate file. So I think I actually kind of like being able to see all 3 at once. So I'm actually going to do that here. I'm going to combine these. Main menu. Whoops. And we'll put that inside here, the login model. And we delete this. Alright, so under the UI here, we have our chat system. We'll go ahead and actually, you know what? this is actually one more level of separation we can do. Right? We have our main menu and then we have our game. So we have our game. And then we have our menu. Alright, so inside the menu, we're going to have our menu scene. Scenes. Okay, our main menu only has one. We're going to have our main menu in there for scenes. And then also, what else goes in there? We're going to go ahead and we're going to put all of these scripts. Okay, so new folder, scripts, UI chat system, scripts, and here we'll keep that same context. So menu, we have UI, then we have main menu, and we'll go ahead and put those in there. And actually, it's not even the main menu, this is the login system. Yeah, so here, we'll call it login system. Okay, we have a login model, a login view, and it acts as a model view model pattern. Okay, and then we got our scenes, we have our main menu, and then our prefabs. We don't care about anything here for the player, I don't believe. Nope. Scripts, alright, good deal. We can delete this. Close the menu. Alright, so we got this player prefab now. Where does that go? Under content, under player, we'll have here, we'll have scripts for the player. So this player info will go in there. And we will have prefabs related to the player. Alright, and there we go. Now we are fully clean and organized and everything looks awesome. Alright, so we got game, we have our menu. Alright, and login system, sweet. Everything's super organized, love it. Okay, inside our player, our scripts, player info. Anything networking related is all right here for us. Chat message, login request, message type. Alright, and then looking at this, I may need to change the standard of this as well. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I definitely need to figure out how I want to do this. I need to clean it up a bit, but I think I'm done streaming for tonight. I'm tired, it's like 1 AM. So, thanks for watching, guys. This video is going to be on YouTube, so you guys can check it out. Let's see, what did we do today? Let me fill in the comments here. Continuing our network exploration to get this framework up and running. Let's see, we get player spawning and player removing from the server working. Let's see, we also dive into Git Version Control. Sweet. Thanks for watching. Also now on Twitch per your requests. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, I'll hang around for a couple minutes to hear if you guys have anything other than that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.